What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Unscripted Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Eduardo, and I'm here with my co-host, Edward. What is up, Edward?
What is up, Ed? Everybody from the 313. Put your hands up if you want to follow me.
A little reference to 8 Mile. I can see in your background. Um, we'll talk about that soon in the pod. But man, an amazing week of football this week. Um, a lot happened.
Probably one of
A
the best, maybe can't even count. This is probably one of the best weeks of football, maybe like the last maybe 5 years.
Yeah, it was a crazy week. A lot of things happened. Started off with Saturday, with Thursday, and then Saturday football. We have football all week. But man, what's your takeaway from week 16? I can't believe we're already in week 16. Um, but yeah, man, a lot of good football happened this week. What's your takeaway from week 16?
I take away from week 16. I think I maybe kind of like might expound. Maybe we could probably expound on this throughout the whole. We really are in week 16, and there's still no clear cut favorite in the AFC. That is insane.
Yeah, and I only there's still like the fact that we're in week 16 and there's still nobody has won the division yet, if I'm not mistaken. And the only teams that have clinched the playoff berth are the Broncos and then the Jaguars, right? I think from the AFC, if I'm not
Uh,
mistaken.
Maybe.
I think they're
Got the
the
playoff
only.
picture in front of me.
It is. Let me see. I think it is. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Let me see. It doesn't say. See if I can get it too. Oh,
Bear
that
with
didn't
us,
work.
viewers. We have very bad Wi-Fi.
Probably. Well, let's just jump right into before we. Yeah, it's the Denver Broncos and the Patriots actually clinched a playoff berth. Um,
Yep, you are correct.
yes, despite the Broncos losing, they already clinched the playoff berth. And then New England, obviously with their win, they clinched the playoff berth. Not the division yet, but playoff berth. But yeah, man, a lot of good football, man. We can talk about it, man. What a crazy game! What a crazy ending! Your Pittsburgh Steelers went to Ford Field. Detroit took on the Detroit Lions, which was a must win for them. Um, Man, crazy ending.
You know, it's,
Uh,
it's one of those rare times like I never thought we'd get to like we had the game like we have to start first in this whole debacle because my, my God, those final minutes.
yeah, man. But you guys got the dub with a very controversial ending. Um, Towards the end, not a lot of points in the beginning, but the fourth quarter, that's when you guys turned it up, especially both teams. But what's your thoughts on this victory against the Detroit Lions? Right now, you guys are 9-6 for first in the division with 2 games left, and what, a game and a half on the Ravens, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I believe that could be accurate. Yep, sitting
Yeah.
at 9-6. Here we go. Another Steelers season. We get to 9 wins. That is now that is now 22 straight seasons without a losing record. So, like, I just want to get that out the way.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin, 19 seasons without a losing record, and now I think the entire streak's gone on to about 22 seasons, 500 or better.
Mm.
Phenomenal work, and it's not to say like I'm not trying to be petty, but I think a lot of Steeler fans know that we didn't forget the last 3 weeks. We didn't forget what was going on 3 weeks ago, and then maybe I think that probably kind of like galvanized us to really go on this
Hmm.
run.
Hmm.
But but yeah, 3 weeks ago, I know people were calling for a certain head coach's job, but as you can see, I can definitely attest to this that the non-losing seasons, I think that is Mike Tomlin's job security. Like it gets brought up whenever the team's not doing well, but like I said, he's has that job security for a reason now. 19 straight non-losing seasons. What can you say now? I mean, I understand there's still more of the season left to continue, but the gift and the curse.
Yeah, I mean, the offense has been looking good so far, especially on the run game. Using both of your backs, especially in on the run game, and Kenneth Gainwell. Kenneth Gainwell, probably your best player right now. He's been incorporated a lot in the passing game. He had 5 catches for 78 yards and a touchdown. Uh, Jalen Warren also
I
stepped
mean,
up 2 touchdowns.
it's one thing about where you pretty much got everything going on the ground, but I think what's also not being said is
Hmm.
like very, very rarely do you ever see the Steelers almost put up 500 yards of total offense because,
Been a while.
like, we understand what the Detroit Lions team is, but I think even the Steelers offense kind of blew away Steelers fans' expectations too.
Hmm.
But throughout the game, I kind of knew like some. I was kind of paying attention to like what was kind of in the game plan. They were controlling the line of scrimmage and really. I know they had to make a key and focus on the run, but I forgot which game the Lions lost. I knew the defense they had to get. They also not only were they trying to stop the run, they also had to pressure Goff since the ball's going to be in his hands every single play. So I forgot. Yeah, I forgot which game the Lions lost, but I know. I guess like Goff was getting like pressured or blitzed. That also kind of like messed up his timings to really like get to the explosive plays in the Lions offense. And I know the
Hmm.
Lions have kind of been their offense has been a little shaky because Dan Campbell retook the play calling duties from John Morton.
Hmm.
And under Dan Campbell's play calling, that's when you start seeing the Lions looking like the Lions from the last few years that we got so accustomed to. But I think you can also see with the Lions, they also had like a lot of their guys on defense
They're
injured.
a lot of injuries that they've had, just like last season, but they were able to,
Hmm.
you know,
They were still able to really keep up and still maintain the course, but I think the Steelers took. If you look at the touchdowns from Jalen Warren, both touchdowns, I think that was also a key component that they took advantage of. It's not that they couldn't beat you in the air, but it's been a while since you've seen Jalen Warren rip off those long, probably 30-plus yard runs. So that's pretty much
and
taking advantage of like what's not there available in the secondary.
yeah, and credit to the offensive line too, that
Hmm.
were able to have some gaping holes on, um, in order for Jalen Warren to score the touchdowns, both of those touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers, 27-41, 266 yards, 1 touchdown. There was one ball that he threw that almost was it to Calvin Austin or to MVS, right? To MVS.
Yeah, it just got right off his fingertips. I think he tried diving out for the catch and just could not secure it.
Yeah, that was that was a really good ball from Aaron Rodgers, and then you guys incorporated Adam Thielen. Um, he now he's kind of incorporated to the offense, and I can see it moving forward to the playoffs. I feel like he's gonna be a key part in these playoffs for them. 4 catch, 49 yards. DK had four catch, 42 yards. Quiet game for him. Obviously things happen. Was it before the game, right?
Mm, I'll just speak on this. Look, I know what had happened, and the breaking news that we kind of got maybe a few hours before we recorded.
Yeah.
I was gonna come in with a little more juice, but I guess that news kind of. I'm still not gonna let it ruin this victory that we got, but
Yeah. It's just
yeah.
unfortunate things that happen. Obviously, I guess a certain fan said something allegedly said something to DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf didn't like it. What he hit him. The fans
Now,
said,
now to play devil's advocate, the punch didn't
yeah,
necessarily land. He just kind of
yeah,
grabbed him.
yeah, kind of, kind of,
He made the gesture. He didn't really connect with the fan. So
yeah,
I still don't think that really. Obviously, look, I understand you don't want to promote that. You don't want to condone. You don't put your hands on
yeah.
a fan. You don't want to condone that. But whatever
Things
the
were
fans,
said. Yeah, things were said,
whatever
but
was
it's a,
allegedly said, we don't need to
yeah,
get too into that.
yeah. It's now it's a
But
he said she said type thing,
but,
and
but
obviously
like I
the
said,
NFL had to do something and suspend him.
now I didn't see the punch landing, so
Yeah,
I still think maybe 2 games is excessive. They're saying he's appealing it, so it's still there still could be an ongoing process with all this. And
that probably
unfortunately,
got
his
into
fans also,
yeah,
I guess, a law firm is involved, so the band
yeah,
could be taking some legal action to this
and
ugly situation. But
I'm sure that kind of affected him during the game too, because I'm sure things were in his head like, oh man, maybe he shouldn't have done that.
I mean,
You don't know what was going on.
I mean, when the Steelers were driving on offense, he was in position to get a touchdown, but he got called back for a penalty.
Yeah,
But even number 8, Aaron's even said that like he's applauded DK for his professionalism and like he has this mentality like treating basically treating playing like it's a job, like treating it as if it is work. And obviously, I'm sure this isn't something that's gonna like lose the locker room. I'm sure he's gonna own up
yeah.
to it and
I mean,
speak about it
even
when he
towards
has to.
yeah, I mean, even when the game ended, you guys, you could see Cam Hayward on one side. You saw Coach Mike Tomlin, Aaron Rodgers. They were happy, excited. You can tell the locker room is pretty tight, and it's, they,
Like I said, it didn't connect. So I want.
yeah.
So you still can't technically say he punched him.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah.
it was
But
still kind of a violent gesture. And
yeah.
I,
Let's move on from that. Now let's talk about what happened towards the end of the game. Obviously Boswell missed the field goal.
She did that. That actually did shock me that it doinked right off the crossbar.
And at that point would have been what, 30, 32, 24,
Yes,
32,
yes,
24. And so then the Lions got the ball back within what, a minute and something? A minute or like around 2 minutes?
yeah. I think you're talking about like right before the 2 minute warning.
Yeah, right at 2 minute warning. The Lions drove down. I think St. Brown got him there. A lot of penalties, a lot of mistakes that the Steelers committed. Obviously, there was the pass interference on who was it on? On the Steelers?
You're talking about when Goff threw that ball to JMO.
Yeah, 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 the pass interference.
Forgot who it was on necessarily, but I still remember the play. But a lot, like I said, a lot was going on during that
Yeah.
drive because after the after that pass interference, Cy Smith gets caught for, I guess he's trying to blitz Goff, but I guess like gets too close to him, and his leg kind of like gets out
Trip,
from
right?
underneath him, and
Yeah, trip.
you can clearly see he accidentally did it, but that was another costly
Yeah.
penalty, and that
So those
kept
were
the
two 15-yard penalties, right?
yeah.
That kind of moved the lines more to the field goal, to the end zone. And then there was the touchdown to St. Brown. Now, in that play, you can see, what is it, Raymond? Or who was it, the one that was
Talking
that
about Raymond
supposed
or Tesla.
oh yeah, Tesla. I guess he kind of crashed into one of the Pittsburgh Steelers defenders, and then obviously what they was called as a PI. I don't think it was PI. I feel like it kind of the Steelers defender kind of pushed him to the side, and then it kind of hit the other defender.
I mean, yeah, you could kind of see like he was kind of sandwiched in there, but I think that wasn't like the real focal point the rest were looking at because, like I said, a lot of things were happening like in the midst of all that. So if you want to go back to when Goff throws the ball to St. Brown and he's kind of marching his way to the end zone, you see that I think he was getting in the end zone, but I think you see the guys forcing him out, and I think he also kind of dropped the ball too. So it didn't really that thing didn't necessarily count. And then like it was just a mix of chaos because the ball came out and then Jared Goff was running.
But
Jared
that was
Goff saw the
after.
ball and
That
ran to
was
the end.
after, right? But
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was the
yeah.
last play. Yeah. So then in that play, I guess you like you said C. Brown caught the ball, didn't get to the end zone. The defenders, the Pittsburgh Steelers defense was trying to push him out of the end zone, and right when he was going down, that's when he threw the little pass to Jared Goff, and Jared Goff jumped over the end zone and scored.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
then
And then like all chaos just like happened. And then like I said, as
now
a fan, I'm just watching it like I don't know what's going on. And then even
now
like we watch the games, you can kind of like hear like the boom mics kind of pick up some of the audio on the field.
Mhm.
I did hear OPI on the hot mic, so
Yeah.
I was relieved. But in that situation, I know like when they say like there's two penalties and like I know penalties can
It can
offset.
offset, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like I'm just watching it like what is going on? Like did we win or
Now
lose? Like I'm losing my mind. Like what is happening?
Now, was it PI? Because you can see a little bit that St. Brown kind of pushes a little bit too on Jalen Ramsey, and that's when he was able to catch the ball.
I know you're seeing what I have on, believe it
I
or
know,
not.
but I'm biased. I'm
But believe it
biased
or
and
not,
keep on.
that actually was the right call. It was offensive pass interference because St. Brown does get his arm up right by Jalen, and then that's what they were paying attention to. And I think even the post game they did interview with St. Brown, and he took ownership and admitted that he did commit the penalty.
And what's even crazier is that, like you said, like this game was so crazy that even it took so long, and the refs didn't even know what was going on, and the fans were obviously they were happy because it was a touchdown, and then right when
Yeah,
the
because the
ref,
call because
the ref he literally said the referee literally said uh it was a touchdown, and then all you can just hear the Lions fans just all cheering, but then you just hear him say however it's offensive pass interference, and then the Lions fans still didn't hear it because they're all happy that they scored a touchdown, and he said
he really got the entire crowd's neck with that. However,
yeah, he said it was basically however offensive pass interference, and then what did he say like that means the
he
game
said
is
there's no
over. He
yeah
said
he
no, no,
said
no.
there's no
He said yeah. He said like something, and then he said the game is over. The Lions fans still thinking that they won the game, and then he
he
said
said that
no
he said
touchdown
the
towards the
rule
end.
yeah he said the ruling on the field was touchdown and then explained it and then followed up with the no touchdown the game is over and then
No,
that's when like
I thought he said game over, no touchdown.
basically something like that. But as soon as they said like no touchdown, like I was still in shock, but like in my mind I was like I guess we won the game. But like honestly even like probably like 10 minutes later I still didn't know what was going on. But like, I'm surprised I didn't black out because like I just feel my heart beating on my chest like I was already in full panic attack mode.
Yeah, I mean it was a crazy play, crazy ending. A lot happened in that game, but man, like you said, you Steelers, you guys are on a what 3 game winning streak?
Yes.
3 game winning streak. Like you said, it all started with the Ravens game. And then you went to Miami. I mean, you went took care of
And
the
we came to
Dolphins.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and then you guys went to beat the Lions, which obviously I don't think you guys were favored in that game and against the Lions.
No, we
Uh,
were not.
but right now the division is all yours. You guys hold your own destiny right now. You guys take on the Browns, um, in Cleveland though, so it's gonna be a tough game, divisional game. Then you take on the Ravens at home. Obviously, the Ravens lost yesterday against the Patriots, and in a game that they probably should have won. But they didn't.
Ruined a
As
lot of people from Baltimore's holidays with what was going on.
Yeah, man. But what do you think your chances of like how do you see the Steelers in the playoffs with these last 2 games left? 3 games in a row, they guys won. How do you see the offense? Obviously, TJ's coming back next week from what
We,
2 games out, 2 games that he was missing.
I mean, according to the Adam Schefter report, I guess they're still saying his status is uncertain. I do believe he was. I think I saw on the social media page like he was in the facility during the week, but like I guess based on like what happened to him, there's still probably some limitations of what he can and can't do. So like as a safety precaution, last week and this week he couldn't participate, but
Yeah.
like it's still kind of a standstill even whether or not when he'll be even cleared for practice or even
Mm-hmm.
doing any drills or any individual activities.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we're still doing it for 90. We're still doing it for him.
I
We
mean, I
got
mean,
two
it
wins
could.
without him. We've seen
I mean,
how we perform when he's not in the lineup. I've seen that stat plenty of times, but the team keeps fighting, and we have that to look forward to. How whatever happens with DK, it's still. I know we're still going to require other guys to step up, but the whole. I think the whole offense, like, guys stepped into the challenge. Although he did have like one key fumble, even Mount Washington, he was getting
yeah,
into it like another play, another week, another play, another challenge. It takes about four guys to bring him down.
yeah. Even there was a what Scotty Miller appearance.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are even surprised like we even have him on
Yeah,
the roster.
yeah, I was even surprised you guys had Scotty Miller. But right now the offense is looking good. Aaron Rodgers looking good. We'll see. We'll see what happens with Pittsburgh. Like I said, they hold their own destiny. Um, we'll see. They have two divisional games, which AFC North
Dude,
football is going to be tough. It's Cleveland, even though Cleveland is Cleveland, it'll be tough. They probably want to play spoiler, and then you guys ended off with Baltimore in Pittsburgh. But let's move on to another crazy game that happened was the Jaguars Broncos.
yep. The Jaguars move on to 11-4. The Broncos move on to 12-3. Final score was 34-20. But
Now, quiet. Nobody really talks about Jacksonville. Jacksonville, it's a very quiet. Obviously, it's what did Sean Payne call them? Low market team,
I
out of
mean,
market team, or something like that before.
factu- factually, he is correct. Believe it or not,
Yeah,
Jacksonville is considered a small market, I
small
guess, in the
market
state of
team.
Florida compared to like maybe
But he
Miami
did
and
he, he
Tampa.
did he did call them a good team. They're a small market team, but a good team. He did say that. But I'm sure Liam Cohen kind of took that one little part and just be like, okay, we'll show you this small market team. He basically said the small market team went over there to Denver and beat them. Man, Jacksonville has been playing really, really, really well. Trevor Lawrence is showing why he was a first overall pick a
hmm
couple
I
years
mean,
ago.
respectfully, I kind of did sleep on Jacksonville. Like I knew they had talent, but I don't think it really popped on like everybody's radar to be like actual contenders. And
Especially with Liam Cohen being there, and obviously what
mhm.
happened last couple years.
Yeah, I
Um,
knew. I mean, I knew that hiring definitely would change things, but I wasn't expecting that. It's one thing like the offense doing it, but no one really talks about their defense. Also,
yeah, their defense really stepped up. And it's tough to go into Denver. It's a tough environment. The mile high, obviously with the altitude. And
hmm
the Broncos are a really good team. They always start out pretty slow, and they turn it up in the fourth quarter. But man, Trevor Lawrence has been balling. 23 for 36, 274 yards, three touchdowns. And another player that last year wasn't really doing much, but this year, Travis Etienne kind of revived this season, kind of brought back who he was. Um, but yeah, man, they've been balling lately. Parker Washington had six catch, 145 yards, one touchdown, balled out. But like you said, the defense really stopped them. Bo Nix threw a pick. He threw a pick.
I think he had a fumble too. So uh, as great as the Broncos are, I think like that kind of does get lost with a lot of. I think that kind of gets kind of like lost in the mix. I know they've been kind of been talked about like having this Super Bowl caliber great defense, but I think games they've actually lost or maybe like kind of have come close, even though they had a 10 game win streak and a 11 game win streak. I think it still comes down to the play of Bo Nix because one day he can still look like a franchise quarterback, and then there's sometimes like he turns the ball over in very dire situations that could probably affect the team's outcome moving forward.
So yeah, I mean we'll see. I mean they're still 12 and 3 team. They can still be the first in the AFC, they can have that bye. But like I said, Jacksonville can also win, can also be get that first round bye, be the first in the AFC. It's pretty open in the division. But the Jacksonville Jaguars, it's a lot of credit to them. A lot of Liam Cohen, I'm sure for sure a candidate for Coach of the Year. He has turned around the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we'll see, man. We'll see because the Jaguars, remember, a couple years ago they they took on the Chiefs, right? And they almost beat them in was it the no, wasn't the AFC, was it the AFC Championship? Or was it I forgot which one year that they
I
made
think
pretty
you're,
far.
are you sure you're not thinking of that Monday night game or
No, they made remember they played against the Chiefs and it was the year when Jacksonville beat the Chargers when the was it like 20 down they were up. The Chargers were up 21 points, something like that. And then after
oh
that they took on the
yeah.
Chiefs. Took on the
Yeah, I
Chiefs.
think yeah, a lot of people say that was Trevor Lawrence's coming out party, I guess, but I think when we actually I guess kind of like honing on the whole small market thing, but like when we actually see Trevor Lawrence on national television, because going back, you saw like that epic Monday night game where he kind of led the comeback on his
Mhm.
birthday too. But yeah, I think now people are kind of like following the whole Trevor Lawrence hype train because he's always had that expectation of him kind of like probably like the most highest touted prospect coming out since Andrew Luck. He was already a
Mhm.
number one overall draft pick, and I guess people kept looking and waiting for results. But as far as I know, he has not missed a game, and I think he hasn't missed a game in his career. And yeah, he still had that hype because not just being the number one overall draft pick, I still think people still have vivid memories of him when he got that when he won that championship for Clemson.
Mhm.
So like everybody's been waiting for Trevor Lawrence to really take that next step, but he's been quietly doing it. But I guess a lot of people just haven't been paying attention like that.
Yeah, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. But we'll see, man. It's a team that you shouldn't sleep on the Jaguars. Let's move on to a Saturday game that had another crazy ending. Everything happened. The Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. A old rivalry. The Packers have always dominated the Bears, but not this season.
Probably one of the oldest rivalries in professional sports.
Yeah, but not this season. The Bears are really something special this season. And honestly, like the city has really, really kind of like you can kind of see certain videos like they just
Yeah, that like I think it's probably for like a few years, probably for like a few years back, the Bears have kind of been considered laughing stock, but I think that the Chicago Bears they're kind of moving different.
yeah, and like I said, it's funny that Ben Johnson goes over there and you kind of see the difference with the Lions offense and now you see the Bears. He really changed the Bears franchise to around and then Caleb Williams.
While he was the Lions coordinator, he wanted to give he wanted to give like the offensive coordinator position he had with the with the Lions probably like one more year before he took the Bears job. But now I think it's still got a little rocky in the beginning, but now like you can kind of see like like he's a very accountability and attention to detail driven coach, and now like his culture, he's gotten everybody to buy in, but it's not just like what he's done, but there's a moment in that game where like I think that's when you knew like, oh, this team they can compete and they I think they also had the belief like they can compete with anybody because what's not really getting talked about a lot of the game is how they recovered that onside kick, and that was definitely a
Yeah.
momentum
And,
changer.
and at that point, what is it like they had like a 9% chance of winning the game or something like
Even just
that?
even just recovering an onside kick is just one
That's
of the
like a
most difficult.
1%. That's probably like a
Yeah,
1% chance of just recovering an offside kick.
so you can tell like his culture has gone from like even like how the offense has been playing to the defense. That's also like they're still like I'm pretty sure they lead the league in turnovers now. Like the culture even trickled down to the special teams because, like I said, the accountability and the attention to detail, like that is something you really have to like key in on to like make sure like you do everything right.
Yeah. But like I mean, the Packers had this game. They in the beginning they were winning even with Jordan Love being out. Obviously, the little helmet hit that he
Yeah,
took
and
in the
yeah,
second
Malik
quarter.
Willis was keeping them in the game.
I remember he when last was it last season he was in the game. I think he was like 2-0. He won two games for them.
Yeah,
So he's been balling. He's a good backup. But man, like the Bears, it's just something special down there. Caleb Williams with that throw, they went to overtime, and the throw to DJ Moore, kind of just like
Yeah, I know people have been calling Caleb Williams other things, but I think they've been giving him a new nickname, and I think it's perfectly fitting. They're starting to call him Iceman, and bro, how he threw that touchdown, put his hand back into the warmer, and he did it last week too, just like did a little celebration.
yeah,
Like that is some ice cold stuff. Caleb, like now we're actually seeing the full potential of why he was taken number one overall.
yeah,
And I'm sorry, also like you're seeing his growth, but now you're also seeing glimpses of like how it was at USC.
USC.
Like those off schedule throws kind of did elevate his talent. Now,
The the one that kind of like a fadeaway throw, like with
mhm,
like what 20 seconds left in the game or 28 seconds left in the game that they tried to send it to was it after that it was what the offside kick or something like that. It was in the fourth quarter. I think they tied it, if I'm not mistaken. It was like a fadeaway throw,
mhm.
and somehow the like miscommunication just let him wide open. Was it who was it? It was Walker, the Walker touchdown towards the end of the fourth quarter. Um, but yeah, man, that was a beautiful throw. Caleb Williams really showing why he was a first overall pick. 19 for
Yeah,
34, two
because
touchdowns.
he has that talent of like kind of doing like the off schedule stuff. Like even when like his rookie season when they were still kind of like losing games, like he still had that talent. But I think in this second season, it's all about like doing the right thing, but also still managing like that playmaking ability.
Mhm.
And he did have some pressure going into the season, but now he is delivering and he knows when to make the right play and when is the right play. So I think we can actually, I think we can kind of start taking the Bears seriously, and we can start looking at Caleb Williams. He might be that long answer that like people have been searching for. I know people had the same feelings. I know people probably had the same feelings when they saw Mitch Trubisky, Justin Fields.
But they're hoping this is the guy. And right now they have two tough games. They hold their old destiny too to win the division. Um, they have the Niners that will play today, and they have the Lions, which at that maybe at that point the Lions are mathematically eliminated, but we'll see. The Lions might want to play spoiler on the Bears. It is a divisional game, so they don't like each other. Ben Johnson might want to.
I know what we did kind of deflated them, but as we talk, I think they have a 16% chance of making the playoffs now. So
Yeah. And Ben Johnson would it let's say the Lions have mathematically are still alive. That probably would have been a big win for Ben Johnson to eliminate his former team in
yeah,
that
because
game.
they did embarrass him earlier on in the season. I think they put up 50 on his return
Yeah.
back to Detroit.
Yeah, so we'll see the Bears. It's a nice story to see those teams that have been really bad for many years and now it's just something special when the team brings the city together. It's something special. But let's move on to let's just quick talk about the Chargers Cowboys game. Man, the Chargers smacked the Cowboys. Right now, the Chargers are on a four-game winning streak. Um, no, they won seven of the last eight, and they've won ever since that Jacksonville loss. They kind of stepped up. Obviously, beat the Raiders, and then they had the last three games that they played really tough was against the Eagles, the Chiefs, and then now the Cowboys. Despite the Cowboys being eliminated, obviously their offense is pretty explosive. Um,
That is
the de
true.
the
I
the
mean,
defense, the Chargers defense really stepped up. I think that's been the key part of this season. Why they've been really playing really well. It's really the defense. And despite Herbert playing still with one arm with 20 days that he had surgery, 23 for 29, 300 yards, two touchdowns. I mean,
I mean, it's so funny. I know you guys won the game, but I think Dak is second in the league in passing. But yeah, I don't want. I think maybe we need to like let everybody know like there was so much chaos in the league kind of going on. Like we've seen that so much chaotic stuff going on. Doesn't let you discount the fact that the Cowboys have a 4,000 yard passer, two 1,000 yard receivers, and still could not even sniff the playoffs this year. Just let that
yeah.
sink in, everybody.
I mean that tie that they had, right? Look, I mean they did a good job kind of. kind of CeeDee Lamb only had 51 yards. Obviously, George Pickens had that touchdown. He went off for 130 yards, but the defense really did a good job stopping the passing game. The running game too. They stopped the running game. Javonte Williams only had 34 yards, despite Dak Prescott throw for 244. In the beginning, the Cowboys were scoring points. It was a back and forth, but then the Chargers defense really stepped up, and
Yeah,
we had
Javonte Williams also has 1,000 yards rushing too. Just want to throw that in there.
yeah, man. But like I said, man, like this year the Chargers have been something special. I think like we've been winning games that normally we would lose, and and like I said, despite the Chargers having a horrible offensive line, Justin Herbert is still finding a way to win, despite him just 20 days away from he had his surgery. He's still finding a way to play really well, and it just kind of showing why he's still, some people still view him as one of those top quarterbacks in the NFL right now, and he's showing it. Obviously, with the running game, Hampton, Vidal has stepped up. Quinn Johnston, I think he was out last game, and then he came back, four catch for 104 yards, one touchdown. Lad McConkey, I think they've just been spreading the ball pretty well, and the offense is playing really, really well, and the defense with Derwin James, Henley, and then we have Perriman that got suspended 2 games from
Well,
a hit.
welcome to the party. Welcome to the
Most
party.
likely, they'll probably appeal that to 1 game. I mean, look, the Chargers
I
defense
mean,
they play hard. The Chargers defense play hard. They're physical and they're
respectfully,
hard.
I don't think he'll be able to kind of appeal his because I guess the league saw that he kind of is a repeat offender. I don't know if he's kind of granted that grace of even like trying to appeal, but
We'll see. Hey, but the Chargers defense they play tough, and right now your teams that are playing. This is the best time to play play some really good football and get the momentum going right now. In December and head into January, the Chargers, the Steelers have also been playing well. The Patriots won a close one against the Ravens, despite Lamar being out for most of the game. Snoop Huntley had him in the game, and then Zay Flowers just did Zay Flowers things.
Zay Flowers
Fumble the ball.
scored and then he fumbled, and even Ravens fans
Sounds
can admit
familiar.
that like this is
Sounds
so.
familiar, right?
Well, like he always fumbles whenever like the season's
Key
on the
moments.
line, whether it's in the playoffs or a game where we still need playoff chances. He's always fumbling. I always
Him
knows
and
like I think. Look, I'm not trying to like kick somebody while he's down, but like keep in mind like he's still kind of like a very kind of like a small receiver. He's probably about like 5'7" to 5'9". I
Mhm.
think like what he does so much is that like he catches the ball, but he doesn't really protect it. Like every time he's running, he kind of like runs with his arm out, kind of like where it's so easy to like really just get the really attack the football. And I think he's like in his probably his third or fourth year and still hasn't fixed this problem.
Hey,
And
look,
talking about fumbles,
Derrick Henry,
eh,
2 touchdowns, but after that, he was just in the bench.
I mean Derrick Henry, he scored another touchdown, but I don't know what is going on. It's been a problem since week one, and I thought he thought he'd had it taken care of, but it still keeps coming up at the worst time.
Yeah, right now in Baltimore, it's just loud. It's not a happy time in Baltimore. The fans are
Like
not having it.
they've been up and down too, but I think a lot of fans are seeing like even though are probably like our lifetime, they've won 2 championships, but like that culture the Ravens had or like once had, like even fans aren't even recognizing it anymore. Like it's one like they're not playing well. Like they can't even make it to the playoffs. Or, like I think they're just like gone away from like the standard that maybe like Ed Reed, Ray
Yeah,
Lewis, Terrell Suggs, they all said. And now like this generation is just one. They can only go as far as maybe Lamar could take them, but like it's not even that. It's just like I think even fans are just looking at like what is this team made out of? Like where do we even go from here? Because I know the noise about Harbaugh is getting loud, but I still think like if that were to happen, which I probably doubt would happen. It's just like, do you think you can get instant change like immediately?
Yeah. I mean, we'll see because Lamar's hurt right now. He hasn't been same. I still think he's still hurt. He's been playing hurt this whole season. Even when he came back, he hasn't been playing well. The Ravens were favorites in the beginning of the season to win the Super Bowl. I think they were the top favorites to win the Super Bowl.
I mean,
And now,
I understand.
nah,
Like, I understand he's hurt, but I also know Lamar's a competitor too. And
yeah.
like, yeah, I guess you can kind of see like, I know in years past maybe Lamar would be like more aggressive, especially in his playing style. But now, yeah, you kind of do make a point. Like, you can tell he's hurt, but I feel like he could do more. But like, those injuries are holding back from like his physical ability. But like, he can still throw it, but like I said, I think he's just very limited in what he can do. And it's kind of interesting how this can affect them moving forward because they're still not necessarily eliminated, but they're still really clinging onto a thread in this whole playoff race.
And Huntley's been doing a good job when he's come in. And the other side, the Patriots. The Patriots, Drake May is showing maybe MVP favorite. Maybe he look in
Yeah,
Baltimore. They were chanting MVP.
yeah.
The fact you can hear it,
Last week against Buffalo was kind of a glitch, but you see like how he played, it just already brought him back into the MVP conversation.
yeah, and you can hear it in the stands. They were calling it MVP. Buddy balled out. Stephon Diggs home. He had his homecoming. 9 catches, 138 yards. Um, Not for Baltimore, but he's from Maryland, so
Yeah,
he went to school in Maryland, but he balled out.
The DMV in Baltimore is very, very same area, still pretty different traits.
Yeah, but I mean, like I say, it was a crazy week in the NFL. Um, but yeah, man, man, I'm looking at next week, man. These Christmas games, they're pretty bad.
So
They're pretty bad. A
so the
lot
kind
of
so
backup
Christmas.
quarterbacks.
So I think the NBA might I think the NBA might have gotten their pedestal back.
Yeah, I think the NBA has some good games, and I think people are still gonna watch football. We're still gonna watch football. It just when you got backup quarterbacks and just teams that
I'm
are
sure this. I definitely know this isn't what they envisioned when they were making the schedule.
no,
But
no, no. You thought you at this point you thought Cowboys, Commanders, two teams that were probably trying to make the playoffs. Lions, Vikings, divisional game, playoff contentions.
like
Broncos, Chiefs.
this
Broncos,
is what
Chiefs, you
kind.
thought,
Like
yeah.
I said, this is kind of what makes the NBA a little different from the NFL. Like star power still kind of matters, but it kind of sucks with like now these kind of Christmas games. Like two out of these three games, we're getting the quarterbacks will be starting as like guys we probably never even heard of.
Look, I ain't never heard of the Chiefs quarterback. I don't know who that guy is. I know who Minshew is. I didn't even know Minshew got hurt. I don't know who that guy is, the third string quarterback. Um, I forgot Josh Johnson was in the Commanders. I thought Sam Hartman was the backup quarterback, but I guess not. Look, I would want Sam Hartman to play, but we'll see what happens. Uh, you got Jared Goff against nine. Nine showed why, you know, didn't only had his
we
best performance.
Yeah, we just go back to calling him JJ McCarthy.
Hey,
Like
they won the game. They won the game. And even in that game, I don't even Jackson Dart didn't even complete a pass. How long did it take for Jackson Dart to complete a pass?
okay, fair point.
Yeah, so it was a pretty bad game. They won. It was a horrible game.
And I
Um,
think next week the Giants is going to be the number one pick bowl, I guess, because I guess the Giants and the Raiders go against each other next week.
we'll see what happens in that game. Man, but to finish it off, obviously with the holidays coming in, Christmas, and you're wearing your Christmas hat, we'll see. Um, Give me your top three favorite Christmas movies.
Top three favorite Christmas movies. I think you have to go first on the list. You always have to go with the classic, The Grinch Stole Christmas.
Now, the cartoon or the Jim Carrey one?
I think the Jim Carrey one's definitely
Top tier.
elevated itself, but like a lot of people don't know, like it actually did come from a cartoon,
Yeah.
but yeah, you got to put How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
You put that as your one?
It has to be up there, but I guess in terms of like all Christmas movies, is like typical Christmas tradition. The Grinch Stole Christmas. You had to put Home Alone in there as well.
Home Alone 1, 2, 1.
Another Christmas movie that's like, I think,
It's a lot of
look,
them.
look, I'll admit, I know it's probably gonna like piss off, maybe like probably anger a lot of Christmas fans. I've never seen Elf, so I don't really, I can't really, I can't really give Elf that spot.
And people love that movie Elf. I've only seen a little bit of it. I don't remember full of it. I wouldn't say it's my favorite movie. I mean, obviously I think I got The Grinch at 1. Home Alone is a classic. I put Home Alone 1. Then after that it's pretty tough. There's Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then
What's
there's
that?
another one. There's another one. There's an old one. A Christmas Story.
I was just about to say that when I
A
was just
Christmas
blanking out on
Story.
the name. I was
A
like,
Christmas
there's a,
Story.
it's that
You see
one movie
Gerard.
where he gets
You,
his tongue stuck on the pole. I just forgot the
yeah.
name, but like I know
And then
that
you
was
see
just like,
Gerard Kid.
yeah.
And that one on Christmas Day gets played all day long. I will put those three. I will put The Grinch, Home Alone, and A Christmas Story. I think that just those are three. Those are my top three good Christmas movies right now, or of all time lately. I still like a lot of ones. Jingle All the Way, Polar Express. Oh man, Santa Claus. I forgot the Santa Claus with Tim Allen. That's another good one.
Think I felt like there was like one movie that's like, oh yeah, there's just my piece. Like, I guess it's
You good?
considered like a classic, very, very classic Christmas movie. But the one thing that just bothers me is like, why do they have to air it on TV? Because like, I know nobody watches it. It's a Wonderful Life. That movie is so old, and I think they always aired a black and white version. So like, it tells me something about that movie is like, it's so old and dated. Like, they never even bothered to even make like an updated version or even a reboot it. But like, that's like my one Christmas pet peeve. I hate that they rerun that movie all the time, but it's considered like a classic.
Classic.
But they still re-air. I don't even know what year it was made. It had to be made in the 50s or the 60s. But like, one thing I just know is like it's always a black and white. And people feel like that's such a timeless classic Christmas movie, but like it's not. No one,
Yeah.
no one's trying to like spend their whole day. I don't even think grandparents even trying to like spend their whole day to even watch that movie. It's
No, they probably would have watched another one.
I just don't. I don't like that. I don't like that thing's still on TV in this day and age.
Yeah. But man, we'll be back with another episode. I hope everybody has a great Christmas and a happy holidays. Celebrate every other holidays there is. We'll be back with another episode. We'll talk about week 17 and maybe NBA. We'll see. Till then, peace.
Happy holidays. Go Steelers. Free DK.